Because of a family alliance, I marry Yara Fu, a socialite from Beijing's elite circle. But I know I'm just a stand-in for her first love, and now that first love is about to return home. I think it's time for me to leave, before she grows suspicious. I carry only a plain, unremarkable bag, holding everything I own. Gold bars and cash. I don't want to leave any trace that could be linked back to my family. So I leave my ID behind. I've already laid out my escape plan long ago. I've already picked out a remote little town, planning to start a new life there, alone. Just as I'm about to walk out the door, Yara suddenly throws herself into my arms. She kisses me almost frantically, marking me, then yanks open my bag to check inside. Her words sound caring, but her eyes are testing me. I'm used to this act of hers by now. I calmly wait for her performance to end, even leaning in to kiss her first. I brace for her to call me good husband in that fake sweet tone. Instead, she just laughs softly. She lifts my wrist and slips on a custom accessory. Honey, she says, I had this bracelet made specially for you as a keepsake. Wear it for the memory. I'll come pick you up at 8 tonight. My heart sinks like ice, but I force myself to squeeze out a single word. Okay. After lunch, I make an excuse about heading a different way, slip past her, and duck into another car. I stare at the tiny dot in the rearview mirror, shrinking smaller and smaller. My eyes fall to my wrist. Since I've chosen to leave, there's no reason to keep her bracelet. Only a custom key can remove it without damage. But this kind of job needs a professional. An idea strikes me. Right in front of a mall downtown, I tell the driver, stop here right at the mall entrance. Sir, the driver says. Miss Fu told me not to stop along the way. I expected he'd say that. So without missing a beat, I pull out my phone. I find an old voice message from Yara and play it for him. Let him go buy some gifts. The moment Yara's voice plays, the driver breaks into a cold sweat. He pulls over immediately. But the second I step out, he sticks to me like glue. I duck into a random shop with a sign that reads, bracelets removed and repaired. The owner, a cold, indifferent old man, doesn't even look up. Buying a bracelet? I nod, pretending to browse the counter for a while, then say, this one. As he takes it out, I casually lift my wrist. Sir, I want to wear it on this hand, but I can't get this one off. Could you help me take it off? He agrees without a second thought, but as he bends down to grab his toolbox, his gaze sweeps over the bracelet on my wrist. His expression shifts instantly. He looks up, studying my face. Young man. This clasp is special. Without the matching key, it can't be removed without damage. The only way is to break the clasp. I freeze for a moment. Melt it down then, I say. Now the old man understands everything. How could I not recognize this? I made this bracelet for Yara Fu myself years ago as a piece just for her. Meant only for someone she loves. He can see clearly this young man is desperate to escape the relationship. Half an hour later, the bracelet finally comes off. I can't hide the joy in my eyes. I pay and turn to leave. Without a second thought, I toss the bracelet, worth 100 million yuan, straight into a trash can. The driver trails behind me, stunned and suspicious. The moment I get back in the car, 4 huge screens across the mall light up at once, showing the face of Julian Qin, a top celebrity. My heart drops. Julian Qin is Yara's first love. The Fu family owns the largest stake in this mall, so it's obvious who paid for this ad. Right then, my phone buzzes wildly. It's Yara. She's noticed my location signal is gone. I pick up just as the call is about to disconnect. Hey honey, did you go to the mall? Her tone gives nothing away. I look out the window, swallowing my panic. No, I'm stuck in traffic. After a brief silence, she actually believes me. Call me when you get home, she says. I let out a deep sigh. After hanging up, I finally see a message from home. Coco is back in the country. Stay away for now. Don't come back. I look out the window. Too late. The car is already pulling into the courtyard. The moment the butler sees me, his face changes. He drops his bucket and dashes inside. I get out with my bag. Before I even reach the door, a woman in furs storms out. How dare you show up here with no sense at all? A sharp ache hits my chest. Wronged, I blurt out, Mom, I'm the real son of the Chu family. Yet they always favored Coco, the adopted daughter, all because I got drunk at my coming-of-age ceremony 5 years ago. Coco deliberately got too close to me. I flatly refused her, but my parents blamed me without ever hearing me out. They never once listened to my side. From then on, I became nothing but a tool for the family, married off to Yara Fu for the family's benefit. Your sister has both fame and fortune now, my mother says. A successful career. Didn't I tell you not to come back? How thick is your skin? Watching my mother spiral into hysterics, whatever was left of my battered heart finally goes cold. Then I pull my grandfather's will from my pocket. I'm here for what grandfather left me. My mother freezes for a second, then sneers. You're already married to Miss Fu. And you still have the nerve to come back for this inheritance? I don't bother arguing with her. I just want 1 car and 200,000 in cash. Now. She hesitates, her eyes flickering, thinking to herself, compared to the old man's 50% shares and over a dozen properties, what he's asking for is nothing at all. Her expression instantly softens. Wait here, I'll have someone bring it. Along with the car keys and cash, she also produces a property division agreement. She tries to talk me into voluntarily giving up my remaining inheritance rights. The butler stands off to the side, watching coldly, calculation hidden in his eyes. Years ago, the butler withheld a key piece of information, creating a false impression. He let my parents keep doubting my true bond with the family. That's why I was left out in the cold for years. He even had me married off to that domineering rich heiress. The moment I get what I came for and step out of the Chu family gate, I snap my SIM card in half. I glance at Yara's 99 missed calls. A wave of relief washes over me. I drive without stopping. I drive through the night to the guest house I've booked in a small town. From a distance, I spot a woman standing by a stone marker. "Mr. Chu?" I nod. "Yes." She warmly hands me a basket of fruit. Then she gets in the car. "Hi, I'm Lily." After a while driving, the car stops in front of a house covered in blooming roses. It's a 3-story house with a courtyard, a fountain, and a pond full of edible tilapia. Lily helps carry my luggage up to the 2nd floor, then politely says at the door, "Call me anytime if you need anything. I hope you enjoy your stay." I watch her disappear down the hallway before wheeling my suitcase inside. Meanwhile, back in Jing City, the mood at the Chu residence is suffocating. Yara has arrived, and the once grand mansion is now in complete chaos. Ornaments and dishware lie scattered across the floor. My parents stand rigid, uneasy. Yara sits on the only sofa still intact. The whole house feels suffocating. Meanwhile, I've already been in the small town for 2 days. The peace here has been healing my anxiety, though at night I feel an emptiness beside me. I find myself unable to sleep. Early one morning, after breakfast, I head out with my new camera. A vendor woman calls out, "Oh, young man, heading out?" I nod. "I'd like 2 candies, please." She just waves her hand. "Take them yourself, no need to pay." I pause thinking, the people in this town are unbelievably kind. Then I won't be shy about it. "Thank you," I say. She smiles at me, then glances at a paper ticket on the table. "Oh right, young man, there's a bonfire festival at Water Village tonight. Want to check it out?" I glance back puzzled. "A bonfire festival?" She explains, "It's a local tradition around here. Lots of singing and dancing, really lively." She presses a ticket into my hand. I thank her and take the ticket. Passing by an archway, I forget all about the Water Village she mentioned. Turns out that's exactly where the festival is being held. But today I'm heading to the hill across the way to photograph the rapeseed flowers. Yesterday evening when Lily heard I like photography, she said, "The rapeseed flowers there are golden and orange, absolutely stunning." The hill turns out to be farther than I expected. Wind rushes through my clothes at the top, instantly sweeping away my exhaustion. While taking photos, I'm surprised to find there's phone signal up here. The next second, a flood of messages comes pouring in. I want to shut the phone off, but I catch sight of Yara and Julian Chin's names. Without thinking, I tap on a post. Their smiles look almost identical. So after I fled with everything I had, she's just been out there laughing with someone else without a care. I turn the phone off, out of sight, out of mind. When I get back that afternoon, Lily has just finished cooking. I wash my hands to help out, but catch sight of a lion dance costume in the courtyard. Leo, the neighbor, glances at Lily. "Lily, you're performing tonight, right?" Lily's face flushes instantly, and she hurries out with a dish. Leo turns to me. "By the way, Mr. Chu, are you going to the bonfire festival tonight?" I nod. "The lady at the stand gave me a ticket this morning." "Perfect then, let's go together later, 9 o'clock tonight." I wait under a street lamp for Leo. He picks me up on his motorbike, but the moment we arrive, someone calls him away to help. In a rush, he finds me the best spot to watch from and says, "Just sit here, I've gotta go." A man nearby greets me warmly. "You're from Jing City, right? Handsome fellow." My chest tightens. I hesitate, then nod. His next words freeze the blood in my veins. "I actually just ran into some people from Jing City on the way here, all dressed up real sharp. Especially the young woman leading them. I'm telling you, I've never seen a woman that beautiful. Looked just like a TV star. That one standing right over there." I follow where he's pointing. My pupils contract instantly. In the firelight, that woman makes my heart lurch violently. I duck my head fast, but I'm still holding Leo's things. I can't just leave. Anxiously, I search the crowd for Leo, but the crowd is too thick, and there's no sign of him anywhere. The bonfire burns brighter, and a crowd rushes forward, joining hands to dance. They completely block the view across from me, and only then do I dare lift my head. Through the shifting crowd, she's still standing there. I'm done for. My heart plummets. Just then, the lion dance troupe approaches, and someone presses a rose into my hand. I freeze, watching in a panic as the lion dance moves on. Then Lily crawls out from beneath the lion costume, and I'm completely stunned. It's her? I hesitate for 2 seconds, then follow after her, shoving everything in my hands into hers. As I turn, I spot makeup on a nearby table, and a wild idea strikes me. "Could I buy this from you?" Lily glances at me and says, "Just use it, no need to buy it." "I might use a lot," I say. She laughs. "Ha, it's fine, go ahead." She takes off her hair clip. "I'll head out first. Shut the door when you leave." The moment she's gone, I grab the contour palette and smear it over my face in a hurry. Then I tuck 200 yuan under it and sneak out, closing the door behind me. The town streets are a maze. I stumble along in a panic, not caring which way I go. Before I know it, I'm back where I started. Wasn't I just here? I mark the wall, then catch a shadow approaching from the corner of my eye. My heart races. A resentful voice drifts into my ear. "Ethan, are you lost?" My fists clench instantly. I instinctively try to walk away, but she strides over and blocks my path. "Ethan, why are you running?" I nervously swallow. "You're chasing me, of course I'm running," I say. To my surprise, that makes her laugh in frustration. She grips my arm tighter. "Ethan, had enough fun? Come home with me." I go rigid all over, stubbornly protesting, "You've got the wrong person. I don't know you." Yara pinches my cheek, smudging some of my makeup off instantly. "Honey, still not going to admit it?" Guilty, I can't meet her eyes. Yara grabs my hand and pulls me along. "Where have you been staying?" "At the guest house on Upper Cliff Street." We arrive at the guest house. A golden retriever barks wildly at her, but she ignores it completely, dragging me straight into the room's bathroom. The makeup on my face won't wash off, and her expression fills with exasperation. "I'll go grab something, wait here." Seeing me nod, she finally turns and steps out. I listen quietly as her footsteps fade away. This is my perfect chance to escape, but the moment I pull the door open, Yara is standing right outside. She calmly leans in close. "Ethan, where are you going?" "Nowhere." Step by step, Yara backs me into sitting down on the bed. Without a word, she turns and leaves, gently closing the door. She doesn't lock it. She knows I want to leave. She stands quietly by the door for a moment, loss written all over her face. "Ethan, what am I supposed to do with you?" She brings back makeup remover. After I wash up, worn out from the day's chaos, I collapse onto the bed, listless, and drift off to sleep without realizing it. Yara watches my sleeping face and murmurs softly, "Ethan, is your heart made of stone?" Overhead, the fan creaks as it spins, bringing no relief from the heat. Before long, a thin sheen of sweat breaks out on my forehead. Yara texts Chloe, "Send someone to install an air conditioner." The moment Chloe gets the message, she sends people right over. A few burly men quietly install the unit. Seeing me finally sleeping soundly, Yara finally relaxes. She isn't the least bit sleepy herself, so she goes through everything in the room and finds only a camera she's never seen before. I didn't know Ethan had a hobby for photography. I thought I already knew everything about him. Now it seems I don't understand him at all. I don't know what he wants. Don't know why he always tries to run, and don't even know how he really feels about me. Even when he occasionally says he likes me, there's always something different in his eyes. The next morning, I stare blankly out the window, and only when I hear the door open do my eyes focus toward it. "Ethan, you're awake." I have no intention of responding. I've already run this far, hidden in this remote place to get away from her. And yet she still chased after me anyway. No wonder there were rumors she's petty and possessive. Seeing I don't answer, she says quietly, "Here we go again, ignoring me like this." Sensing her mood shift, I hesitate for a moment, then reluctantly lean in and give her a hug. Yara is easy to appease. Seeing this, her face lights up instantly. "I've been here 3 days already, and I still haven't eaten at a restaurant in town." Yara finishes eating, then watches me polish off every bite of food. I assume that after the meal, Yara will bring up going back home, so while she's out throwing away the trash, I flip over and lie back down on the bed, naively hoping that seeing me look this pitiful might make her let me off the hook. Yara sends Chloe a message. "Send me a guide to activities nearby." Worried I might not be in the mood. She even has it printed out to ask my opinion. She walks in and sees me curled up in a corner of the bed. She comes over, strokes my hair. "Ethan, what have you been up to these past few days?" I'm in a foul mood and don't want to talk at all, but Yara doesn't press further either. Flatly, I say, "I took some photos around here, went fishing, made a kite." Yara listens carefully, scanning the activities listed on the guide, then crosses off the ones I've already done with a pen. "Ethan, is there anything you'd especially like to do today?" I'm about to speak, but something suddenly crosses my mind, and the light in my eyes dims again. There was something, not anymore. Lily had told me about a nearby herbal shop, where you can make your own mosquito repellent, using all natural ingredients. A few days ago I got bitten badly by mosquitoes and I'd wanted to give it a try. Doesn't seem necessary now though. Seeing my resistance, Yara loses her enthusiasm too. "Ethan, are you trying to make me furious?" I pause and stop resisting her closeness. Yara can be a little frightening sometimes, especially every time she catches me after I try to run. Every time she sees me insist on leaving, she looks especially hurt. Her silence always weighs heavily on my chest. I can't tell if it's guilt or suffocation. "Ethan, don't ignore me. What do you want? Whatever I can give you, I will." My eyes shift. After a moment of hesitation, I say quietly, "I want a divorce." Yara, of course, doesn't quite catch it and gently loops her arm through mine. An odd pressure builds in my chest. I clear my throat, ready to say it again at normal volume. But just as I part my lips, my eyes lock suddenly with Yara's, ghostly and piercing. My heart skips twice. The words on the tip of my tongue get swallowed back down, my gaze drifting uneasily. After a long pause, I finally say, "I want to be alone for a while." Yara says nothing, just looks at me, her face full of disappointment. I don't know how long passes. She murmurs, "No." A stifled frustration rises in my chest. Almost without thinking, I poke her forehead lightly, only to have her catch my finger. A flash of guilt crosses my eyes, and I look away, not daring to meet hers. Seeing me like this, Yara's heart softens. She thinks Ethan has a fatal pull on me. Every little move he makes tugs at my heart. "Ethan, pick a different wish," she says. I think, what's the point of asking for something that can never happen? Yara studies me, thinking it over for a while, then speaks with resolve. "Nothing too outrageous though. This time, whatever you ask, I'll agree to it." I look at her intently and ask in a low voice, "How many more days can I stay here?" "2. She starts but thinks, 2 days won't be enough for Ethan to really enjoy himself. A week should do. So instead she says, 1 week. Any longer and Ethan might get bigger ideas. she thinks, worried he might fall for this place and refuse to come back with her. Hearing this, my eyes go wide. A week? That's it? A week's not enough time to do anything. Wait, does Yara really need to rush this much? It must be because her first love is waiting. No wonder she'd bother, in the middle of her busy life, to track down someone as small as me. I really did overestimate myself. Yara's doing all this just to lower my guard. After a long silence, I finally speak. Then for the next few days, don't get too close to me. Whatever I do, don't interfere. Yara thinks my husband is right here in front of me and I can't even get close to him? No, I refuse. But Ethan is looking at me with those puppy dog eyes. Ugh, fine. The words are already out and I'm not the type to go back on my word. Let him have it his way. I decide to head to the herbal shop tucked in the mountains. I've got at least 7 more days here and I refuse to keep feeding the mosquitoes. All right, one more trip up for you two, someone says. I turn around and see Yara standing by the door, glaring at me, clearly displeased. I give her a cold, forced smile and a scoff, then turn without a word to follow the cable car attendant. Yara grits her teeth in frustration, but in the end just makes a face at my back and reluctantly follows along. As Yara gets closer, she overhears me talking to the cable car attendant. Could we use 2 separate cars? I'd rather sit apart from her. No, running 1 extra car is already a favor. Yara, a little annoyed, loops her arm through mine. Furious inside, the moment the attendant walks off, I immediately push her away and climb into the cable car by myself. Yara follows right in after me. There's clearly an empty seat across from me, yet she insists on squeezing in right beside me. Honestly, it makes me completely uncomfortable. But Yara, usually so perceptive, acts as if she notices nothing, even ignoring my size completely. Sweetheart, I'll have her fired if you'd like. Please don't be upset, she says. I freeze, then turn to look at the cable car attendant standing frozen in place. No need, I say. Honey, she says, you're so gentle and understanding with everyone else. So why won't you ever give me the same consideration? I stare at her quietly, thinking, this makes no sense. You're a wealthy heiress who has everything. Everyone in your family would practically worship the ground you walk on. What exactly deserves my sympathy or consideration? We ride the rest of the way in silence. The moment the cable car arrives, I hurry off, putting distance between me and Yara. But before long, I come to a stop. I have no sense of direction at all. Ethan, are you planning to visit someone's home? I rub my nose, a little embarrassed. Lily had told me the day I arrived, past the midpoint of the mountain. The people living higher up value their privacy immensely, and they deeply resent anyone barging into their homes. If someone did, getting yelled at would be the least of it. Some might even mistake them for a thief and chase them off with a stick. Seeing my flustered reaction, Yara pauses for 2 seconds, then says, "Let's go, quickly!" Without hesitation, Yara turns and leaves with me. I pull out the map and hand it to her. There's no signal up in the mountains, so GPS is useless. Yara has an excellent sense of direction, so I let her lead the way. Might as well make use of that built-in navigator. The herbal shop turns out to be a rustic old house, still carrying an air of ancient charm. Just as I'm about to follow the shop owner inside, someone pulls me back from behind. Yara calmly straightens my clothes, completely at ease. I freeze for 2 seconds, a strange feeling stirring in my chest. Then old Lynn's voice calls from inside. "Come in." "Okay," I answer, and hurry inside. The inner room is spacious, herbal medicines sorted neatly into rows of small drawers. My interest is instantly piqued. The moment I sit down, Yara follows right behind, taking the seat beside me. I explain what I need to old Lynn. He points to a table nearby and says, "There are materials on that table over there. You can try mixing your own portable herbal sachet. Several kinds are available with instructions beside each." I take the toolkit old Lynn hands me. Yara sensibly doesn't interrupt me. Her eyes just skim over the mixing instructions on the table. Then she picks up the tweezers and starts weighing out the ingredients in the small dish in front of her. Seeing this, I think, why does she look so practiced at this? Yara notices my puzzled glance perfectly. She smiles happily, thinking, I've never made a sachet before, but I've messed around with plenty of other things. As a kid, not exactly mature, I'd mix up itching powder recipes I found online, day after day. 2 hours later, I finally finish a sachet I'm satisfied with. Realizing the only person here to share this sense of accomplishment with is Yara, I turn to her. I did it. Wow, my Ethan is amazing. Yara's eyes light up, praising me without holding back. My life used to be full of happiness too, once. But after I turned 18, my parents, always claiming it was for my own good, disciplined me without limits, even taking someone else's side against me, wrongly blaming me more than once. The painful memories rush back. I pick up the tool beside me, planning to clean up the mess on the table before old Lynn comes back. Yara casually takes the cloth from my hand. Ethan, let me do it. Go sit over there. I stare at her blankly, glancing between my side of the table, a mess like a trash heap, and Yara's side, spotless as if it had never been touched. Suddenly, footsteps creak against the wooden floor. Instinctively, I whisper, "Hurry up." Yara leans in with a bright smile, her face nearly touching mine. "Then kiss me first." I don't budge. "If you don't kiss me, I've got no motivation, no table wiping." With that, she blinks playfully, her hand resting lightly on my wrist. With old Lynn about to return any second, I lean in and give her a quick peck on the cheek. Yara looks instantly satisfied and turns back to finish wiping the table. Old Lynn is a thoughtful man. After packing our sachets, he throws in a balm as well, along with some cooling oil. Thank you, I say politely, and pack everything up. Old Lin has a son too. As the two of us sit down for a meal with him, his son walks in from outside, looking around 15 or 16, wearing a straw raincoat. Old man, check out what He stops mid-sentence, his eyes catching the two strangers seated in the room. He freezes for 2 seconds, then hastily turns and runs back out. When he comes back in, he's a completely different person, walking in politely, sitting stiffly beside old Lin. Yara glances between the boy and me. Just like my Ethan. Both of you can switch faces like that. Doesn't matter though. My Ethan's handsome no matter what. The four of us eat quietly, each to our own, and the meal passes in silence. Even though I'm a guest, I basically invited myself to stay for this meal. So I figure I can't just sit around doing nothing. Yara pauses for 2 seconds, then decisively takes the bowl from my hands. I'll do it. I stare at her stunned, as this pampered heiress, who's never lifted a finger for housework, starts washing dishes. With my sensitive nature, a thought hits me instantly. If Yara treats a mere stand-in like this, how far would she go for her actual first love? Would she give up all her pride, grovel at his feet? I grab a broom from the corner and start sweeping the floor. Yara washes the dishes, her eyes flicking toward me every so often. She shakes the water off her hands, comes over, and inspects my hands up and down. Seeing no cuts, she finally relaxes. I stare at her, baffled, not understanding her sudden fuss. It's not like I've never swept a floor before. Watching her go back to the dishes, I let out a quiet breath and keep sweeping, but after just a few strokes, something important suddenly comes to mind. All this warmth from Yara right now is just her setting a trap for me. The tenderness before was all an act, meant to lower my guard, and it seems her scheme is working. Right now. Somewhere deep down, I've already grown dependent on her. Lost in thought, my brows furrow without me realizing, so much that I don't notice someone approaching. Warm breath brushes past my ear. Ethan! I jump, startled, and turn to see Yara moving to wrap her arms around me. I quickly spin around and stride to the other side of the courtyard. There are other people in the courtyard, so surely Yara won't dare do much. Yara's face instantly falls into a bitter pout. She thinks, now I finally understand what people mean about suffering through love. My heart aches. I'm just a fool, in love with someone I can't have, and still loving him anyway. I have no idea her inner thoughts are running this deep. Once the sweeping is done, I keep reminding myself to stay clear-headed, not to let her charm cloud my judgment so easily. I need to deliberately keep my distance, giving her no chance to get close. When Old Lin asks about sleeping arrangements, I even deliberately insist on 2 separate rooms. Yara senses my coldness instantly. She thinks, painfully, Ethan is avoiding me. I should have just taken him home last night. Old Lin arranges 2 rooms for us, right next to each other. I leave the window open to let the heat escape, but a thunderstorm rolls in at midnight, jolting me awake instantly. Should I go check on Yara? She seems to be afraid of thunder. On the other side, Yara hasn't fallen asleep either. Just as she's about to sneak into my room, she's caught red-handed by the figure standing at the door. Come in, I say. Yara can't help the corners of her mouth curling upward. She thinks, I knew it, Ethan still has room for me in his heart. I'd originally planned to have her leave the next day, but instead I sleep straight through and end up running a fever, showing signs of catching a cold. I slowly open my eyes and suddenly find myself caught in Yara's warm, crinkled gaze. My heart lurches. My whole body feels weak and sore. Just as I try to push myself up, Yara hurries over and sits at the edge of the bed. Honey, you're awake. Yara's happiness is plain to see. My heavy eyelids flutter, then dizziness overtakes me and I fall back onto the pillow. Yara instantly senses something is wrong, a bad feeling rising in her chest. Oh no. Ethan's forehead is burning up. Her brow furrows tight and she rushes out the door. Only the boy from yesterday is home at the herbal shop. Seeing Yara come out, he greets her politely. Good morning. Yara glances at him and asks, is there a hospital nearby? She's already bracing for the worst. Out here in the deep mountains, there's no such thing as a hospital. Leon pauses for a beat, then quickly sets down what he's holding. Follow me. Yara follows without a moment's hesitation. Before long, they spot a house with a signboard hanging out front. The sign reads, The Lin Clinic. Leon knocks and waits a moment, and when there's no response, he expertly retrieves a key hidden in the doorframe. He unlocks the door and walks into the main room, where they find the owner, an elderly woman. Leon walks over and takes the wooden fish out of her hands. Yara steps forward to explain the situation. Granny Lin then picks up her prepared medicine box and comes to examine me. The moment they return and reach the bedside, my hand suddenly grabs at her sleeve. She gently pats my hand. It's all right, let the doctor take a look. She leans in close, and just as the words leave her mouth she hears me murmur, don't leave me. Yara's expression softens, emotion stirring in her chest. Just as she's about to respond, sis, don't. The pleading tone, low and hushed, cuts through her like a blade. Yara's heart turns cold in an instant. Resolutely she swallows back the comforting words she was about to say. The digital thermometer reads 39 degrees Celsius. Granny Lin, unfazed, retrieves the herbal remedy and fever-reducing supplies. I keep these prepared every year for sudden colds and fevers. Give him the medicine on schedule and wipe his forehead and palms with alcohol. Keep a close eye on him. If anything comes up, come find me next door. Leon feels a bit awkward and follows her out too. He sits in the courtyard, glancing every so often at the inseparable pair inside. He thinks, any child of theirs would surely be lucky. Yara is head over heels in love. Though right now, having a child is the last thing on her mind. Yara grits her teeth trying to console herself. Life is already bitter enough, she thinks. If he wants to call for his sis, let him. My husband carries another woman in his heart, and even though we're married, he still can't stop thinking about his first love. If word got out, it would be humiliating. She remembers, back when we'd just been married a week, how she'd bragged to everyone that her husband was clingy, madly in love with her. The excuse she made up for this trip was that she and her husband were going on an anniversary getaway. Every time people offer flattering wishes for a long marriage, for children soon, she responds with easy grace. But deep down, she knows the truth all too well. Ethan has never once thought about staying with her for the long run. The moment he gets a chance, he's desperate to get away from her. Her attempt to comfort herself fails. Her expression darkens another shade. By the time I wake up, I don't know how to say anything, so I just keep my eyes shut and pretend to sleep. Yara wipes my palms with alcohol, carefully, keeping me from moving too much. "You're awake?" Yara says. Her voice sounds hoarse enough that I pause, surprised. I open my eyes to look, and only then notice how different she looks from usual. Her hair, usually kept perfectly styled, is disheveled now. Her delicate face carries traces of exhaustion and worry. Even so, that damn beauty of hers is impossible to resist. I look away and answer, Unease stirs in my chest, my heart racing for no clear reason. When Yara leans in to check my temperature, I instinctively pull my head back. Watching this, Yara looks a bit helpless. She thinks, I want to kiss him, but I just agreed to his ridiculous conditions yesterday. If I actually kissed him now, whatever's left of my already shaky image in his eyes would take another hit. In the end, she gently presses her forehead against mine. Not as hot as before. So she was just checking my temperature. I'd misjudged her. Yara pulls up the thin blanket, tucking it around me. Rest up, Ethan, I'll go get you something to eat. People here only eat 2 meals a day. Yara borrows the kitchen to cook a bowl of vegetable porridge, then ladles it out and blows on it to cool it down, carrying it into the room and feeding it to me spoonful by spoonful. Back when we first got married, I fell seriously ill. Back then, I was always afraid of being a burden to her, so I kept it to myself, gritting through the discomfort, until she found out. She rushed me to the hospital, then drew up a whole health diet plan for me, hiring a nutritionist to plan my meals and a personal trainer to help build up my strength. Want more? Yara's voice cuts through. I slowly come back to the present. No more, I say. Yara turns and goes to wash the bowl. I stare at her retreating figure and let out a deep sigh. I know I shouldn't let myself sink into her tenderness, and yet somehow my heart gets tangled up in it anyway. I've already been abandoned once before, and still, my heart just refuses to harden. I still fantasize about someone caring for me purely, without any hidden motives. I really am beyond help. An hour later, Granny Lynn checks my forehead's temperature with her palm first. Still a bit of a low fever. Remember to take the medicine on schedule. Dress warmly, don't catch a chill. I nod. Yara follows Granny Lynn to pick up the medicine, pays for it, and comes back. All morning I'm sick and listless, drained of energy. Yara stays by my side the whole time, chattering away. Ethan, listen to this. Somehow she keeps my attention on her non-stop. After a nap around noon, I finally start to feel a bit stronger. I yawn a few times, then climb out of bed. Yara hears the sound and wipes her hands before coming over to hug me. You're up. I let out a soft hum in response, rubbing my slightly heavy eyes. Yara asks, do you want to head down the mountain today, or wait until tomorrow? She straightens my collar for me. I pause, then ask, is the cable car still running today? I recall the attendant's attitude from yesterday morning. If we miss the window, it'll be nearly impossible to convince her to run another trip. Yara holds my hand. Yes, and it runs until 5. My hand feels a bit cold to her touch, so she immediately puts a jacket on me. I don't want to trouble Leon too much, I say. I might not sleep well tonight anyway, so let's just head back today. I thank Leon and pay him extra. Leon insists on packing me a whole bag of local specialties. Anyone who buys from our shop, I always send them off with something extra. I try to decline, but there's no arguing with Leon's insistence. We hurry off to catch the cable car. Before we even reach the peak, I spot a black car parked at the head of the lane in the distance. I frown and turn to Yara beside me. Didn't we agree? Yara presses a finger to my lips, cutting off the rest of what I was about to say. We're both a mess. Let's go wash up first. I look her up and down, forgetting for a moment that Yara used to have severe cleanliness obsessions. It only seemed to ease up after she met me. Yara pouts, shooting me a glare. It's your fault. Always running off to those grimy little corners like some stray puppy, filthy every time, and then when I find you, you look at me with those innocent eyes and my heart just melts. Ugh, so annoying. Hearing that, I feel a little embarrassed, and end up saying nothing. The water pressure at the guest house is unreliable, always running cold halfway through a shower. Since arriving, I think I've only managed 2 proper showers. Yara hasn't fared much better. Chloe stands waiting by the car. Seeing the 2 of us come out, she looks a bit dazed, thinking, no wonder he's the young master, always managing to keep Miss Fu completely under control. She rubs her temple, thinking silently, truly, everything has its match. She steps aside and opens the car door. She thinks before we even got here, seeing how furious Miss Fu was, I actually thought she might finally stand her ground this time. But now, It's clear Miss Fu's heart and mind are entirely full of him. She's hopeless. Still, I can't help thinking he's a bit ungrateful, honestly. At first I thought he was like a good luck charm, softening Miss Fu's temper by more than a few degrees. Who would have guessed that within a month of the wedding, he'd start causing all this trouble? Desperate to run, over and over. Yara and I climb into the car. We wait a good while, but nothing happens. I turn to see Chloe standing by the car door, lost in thought, her expression shifting. What are you standing there for? At the sound of my voice, Chloe snaps back to attention and scrambles into the car in a hurry. Yara has a villa in the next town over. She thinks originally my plan was to stay in Jing City handling work, letting Ethan clear his head on his own. But the very first night after Ethan left, I couldn't sleep at all. So the next day, I rushed over. Worried that showing up suddenly might scare him off, I bought a villa in the nearby area beforehand to stay in. I asked a local contact to quietly keep an eye on his safety from a distance. I never meant to intrude on his solitude. After a while, the car pulls up in front of the villa. Ethan, wake up, we're here. After a shower and change of clothes, I feel like myself again. The two of us sit on the sofa and Yara stares at me intently, thinking, I really want to kiss Ethan. Why did I ever agree to such an unreasonable condition? I notice her intention and say firmly, no. Yara stares at the ceiling, aggrieved, her thoughts churning. My husband is right here, and I still can't kiss him. What kind of nonsense is this? Her eyes are brimming with hurt. Watching her like this, I suddenly find her a little endearing. But then out of nowhere, I remember her first love. The smile fades slowly from my lips, and a sharp twinge stabs at my chest. Yara is nothing but a cruel woman, carrying someone else in her heart, while pretending to love me most of all. Why does she insist on doing this to me? I stand up abruptly, furious, wanting to put as much distance between us as possible. But she grabs my hand almost without thinking. I had the kitchen make your favorite dishes. Ethan, let's go eat. Chloe sits on the living room sofa working through some tasks, a faint relieved smile crossing her face. When her gaze meets Yara's, she quickly stands. Miss Fu, sir. Then we all sit down to eat. I eat slowly, an old habit I never broke. Back home, my parents used to make me eat last. If I was too slow, there'd be nothing left. That's why my stomach's never been quite right since. But after marrying Yara, she's always treated me so well, never once shorting me on anything, and slowly, my eating pace has drifted back to slow. Yara and Chloe finish eating quickly, then dive into work talk, treating me as if I were part of the family, not an outsider at all. I eat the shrimp Yara has peeled for me, then slowly set down my chopsticks and say, I'm full. Yara ladles out a bowl of soup and sets it in front of me anyway. Have some soup, it'll help with digestion. She watches me closely, and only once I pick up the spoon and start drinking does she satisfiedly look away. After the meal, I return to the bedroom, lying on the bed, lost in thought. In 5 days, Yara will take me back to Jing City. I have no idea what awaits me there. These past few days, Yara has stayed glued to my side, giving me no chance to slip away. I need to escape. I have to run. I refuse to accept this. I still haven't figured out why my parents, who used to dote on me, suddenly changed. I still don't understand what makes Yara's first love so special that she can't let him go. I still haven't. Just then, Yara walks into the bedroom. Seeing me lost in thought, she asks, Ethan, what are you thinking about? My thoughts interrupted, I open my eyes and look at her. Nothing. Seeing my sharper edges soften, that I'm willing to engage with her. Yara's mood lifts without her even realizing it. Ethan, please stop running. Whatever you want, I'll get it for you. I've heard that line so many times it's worn a groove in my ears. Whether I take it to heart is one thing. Whether I actually believe it is another entirely. There was a time these words used to thrill me, made me feel like Yara couldn't live without me. Now, it just seems laughable. Her words are just words, nothing to take seriously. I was naive before, actually believing them. I'm not the least bit sleepy now. After staring into space for a while, I get up and settle into the single armchair, scrolling through news. Yara asks, can't sleep? She's a light sleeper, always able to sense my slightest movement. Yeah, I say. Seeing her start to get up too, I quickly add, don't worry about me, just keep sleeping. Yara pouts, aggrieved. I can't sleep with my husband not beside me. Suppressing my racing heart, I go back to bed. The corners of Yara's lips lift as she leans in and wraps her arms around my neck. Such a good husband. I don't know if it's to avoid more trouble, or just to keep her from thinking I'm trying to run again. The room falls back into darkness. I turn my phone brightness down to the lowest setting, and scroll past a post about a sudden crisis hitting the Wen family, posted 2 days ago, the very day I ran. Yara, what am I supposed to do with you? The rest of the days pass in a blur of activity. On the last day I have no particular plans, but Cindy, Lily's friend, happens to stop by to borrow a basket. Lily, lend me a basket. I'm gonna pick wild berries. Seeing my interest, she enthusiastically invites me. Hey handsome, come along. I happily agree. She waves me over from her bike. The spot is a bit far, so we'll need a motor tricycle to get there. Just as I settle into the cart, Yara's pale hand reaches out toward me. You're coming too? Hearing this, Yara pouts, aggrieved, thinking, what is this? Ethan didn't even include me in his plans. What does that make me, some shameless tag-along? Just then Cindy steels herself and speaks up for me. The tricycle might not fit this many people. Yara glances sideways at her, then climbs into the cart and sits right beside me. Who are you calling sis? Ethan. We'll just squeeze in. Of course I'm coming along. I just don't feel comfortable letting Ethan go up the mountain alone. The mountain paths aren't easy, and I'll be there to help if he needs it. The wild berries grow in thick clusters, a bright red patch visible from far away. The tricycle stops. The mountain bumps have left me feeling a bit queasy. Concerned, Yara pops a piece of chocolate into my mouth, then says with a proud little air, "See? I told you my husband can't do without me." "No, I don't," I say. Sure, she says. "It's me who can't do without my husband." I shoot her a glare, snatch the basket from her hand, and head over toward Cindy. While the two of them were bickering, Cindy has already picked quite a lot. These wild berries are really sweet, and juicy too. You can eat them straight off the vine, or juice them, or use them in desserts. Having just watched our little exchange, Cindy already understands the situation. A couple having a spat. She was going to keep her distance for a bit, but suddenly remembers the rose she'd given out at the bonfire festival. Her steps come to an abrupt halt. No, I need to clear this up, otherwise it might cause trouble for him. Just as I ask Cindy to borrow some gloves and scissors, she speaks up. "Don't worry about the rose from the bonfire festival that night." I pause for 2 seconds, then nod without really thinking. Yara, listening in, catches every word. "What rose?" she wonders. "What's going on here? Is someone eyeing my husband?" I grab 2 pairs of gloves and 2 pairs of scissors, then hand them to Yara. "I just tried one, it's really sweet. Let's pick more to take back. Let Chloe and the others try some too." "All right." He's talking about bringing berries back. That means he's not planning to run off. "The branches have thorns, be careful," she says. Yara nods happily, thinking, my husband is so thoughtful. The two of us take our time picking berries, then head back to the guest house. Cindy hands me another basket of berries. "I heard you're leaving tomorrow. Here, take this. It's homemade, sun-dried." Yara watches me grinning like a fool, a hint of jealousy stirring in her chest. "Thank you. I won't be shy about it then." Yara stays quietly jealous until Cindy leaves, then finally steps forward and hugs me, nuzzling into my chest. "Ethan, can't you tell she likes you?" Stunned, I say, "That's impossible," seeing my baffled expression. Yara's face lights up with a smile. "Then can you tell how much I like you, Ethan?" My heart pounds fast. Yara likes me? Well, of course, she likes this face, likes every trace on me that resembles her first love. I stay silent, unsure how to respond, without getting an answer from me. The light in Yara's eyes seems to shatter. She thinks, "It seems Ethan really doesn't like me. I should have seen it coming. Why did I even have to ask out loud? Wasn't that just asking for humiliation? Forget it. So what if Ethan doesn't love me? It's enough that I love him. We've been married almost 2 years now, and even without love we've managed fine, haven't we? At least he still says he loves me sometimes. That's enough for me." The topic drops there, and neither of us brings it up again. I find a few bags and split up the berries meant as gifts. Then I remember the dried fish Leon gave us. There's quite a lot of it too. Enough to share with Chloe and the others. I remember she likes fish. Yara helps me pack everything up, hearing the instructive tone in my voice. She feels an odd sense of unease. "Ethan, why don't you just divide it up yourself when we're back?" "I won't remember." I lower my head, my voice a little muffled. "I'll ask Lily for some sticky notes to write it down." Yara senses something's off with me and lifts her eyes to look at me. "Ethan, what do you mean by that?" Caught in her suspicious gaze, I suddenly realize I've overreacted, fumbling with the bags to hide my nervousness. "I'm just worried I'll forget by tomorrow, and besides, you should help me deliver these too." After a moment of silence, trying to dispel her suspicion, I speak again. "Though it's not much, I could deliver it myself too since you're so busy." Yara gently loops her arm through mine. "Ethan, you'd better not be lying to me." Heart pounding uneasily, I shake my head lightly. "I won't." Watching me like this, Yara's unease only deepens. She rises on her toes, trying to get closer, but I gently turn my body away. Yara's mood grows a little irritable. She doesn't say anything more. She waits until deep into the night, watching the clock tick past midnight, before finally, with a legitimate excuse, pressing a kiss to my lips. I open my eyes, looking at her, weary and confused. A little guiltily, she says, "Ethan, go back to sleep. We need to head out early tomorrow." Speechless, I roll over and go back to sleep. I never imagined Yara's idea of early meant before the sky is even fully light. Still deep in sleepiness, she wakes me up. Irritated, I scratch my head and drag myself up. Even though it's early, most people in the town are already out, starting their day's work. "Breakfast is ready," Lily's voice calls out. After we finish eating, we find a visibly tired Chloe waiting by the roadside. She thinks, I got jolted awake by a call from Miss Fu at dawn and rushed straight over, thinking maybe he'd run off again, but turns out nothing happened at all. So sleepy. Once we're in the car, Yara glances at her flatly. "Drive." I watch the town street slide past outside the window, a tangle of emotions rising in my chest. Yara quietly scoots closer to me. I turn to look at her. "You clearly had every chance to force me back to Jing City from the start, so why spend an entire week here with me instead?" Yara's fingertips tighten around my sleeve, her voice carrying a note of hurt. "I was afraid if I pushed you too hard you'd never want to see me again for the rest of your life." We ride the bumpy road all the way back to the Fu family villa. Yara sits down beside me. "Ethan, you've always believed you're just a stand-in for Julian Chin, haven't you?" I lower my eyes, a bitter smile crossing my lips. "What else would I think? Your beloved first love is about to come home, and me sticking around was always going to be redundant." She says, "When I was young and naive, I only admired him briefly. I never once felt any romantic feelings toward him. Since marrying you, you're the only one who's ever moved my heart. and Julian already put out a statement on his own, saying we're nothing more than casual acquaintances. Those photos online were just staged shots from a promotional event. The bracelet I put on you was only because I was afraid something might happen to you. The tracking was for safety, in case of an emergency, not to spy on you. The old man who repairs bracelets is someone I've known for years. I specifically told him to remove it for you the moment you wanted it off. I freeze, the knot in my chest, tangled for so long, finally coming undone. The next morning, Yara takes me straight back to the Chu family home. The moment we step inside, we catch Coco and the butler red-handed, embezzling grandfather's inheritance and presenting forged testimony to twist the truth. Security footage captures the entire scheme in full, the butler's deliberate manipulation years ago, and Coco's role in stoking the misunderstanding. My mother breaks into tears in front of me. Ethan, your father and I were foolish, trusting the wrong people. We've wronged you for so many years. Coco's face turns ghostly pale, still trying to argue her way out. But the evidence has already been submitted to the police. She and the butler are ultimately sentenced under the law for embezzling a massive fortune from the family. All the illegally seized assets are returned. Grandfather's shares, the properties, everything now belongs to me. Once the matter at the Chu family is settled, we make a special trip back to the small town to say thank you. Lily smiles, handing over a basket of sun-dried wild berries. I could tell right away you two truly understand each other. Take good care of each other. Leo pats me on the shoulder. Come back and visit anytime you're free. Take some photos. Clear your head. Leon's grandmother presses a calming sachet into my hands. Wishing you both peace and health every year. On the trip back to Jing City, Yara clears her schedule of anything unnecessary. We sit on the balcony, letting the breeze pass over us. I reach out and take her hand first, saying, Yara, before, I was too narrow-minded, always trapping myself in this obsession over being a stand-in. That's why I kept trying to run, again and again. Yara's eyes redden slightly, her hand tightening around mine in return. It's my fault too. My possessiveness went too far. All I knew was clumsy ways of trying to hold on to you, leaving you feeling so suffocated. I turned my head to look at her. I won't run anymore. From now on, wherever I am, I only want to be with you. Afterward, my parents visit often, trying to make up for the years they failed me. I gradually take over the Chu family business, forming a powerful alliance with the Few Corporation. In our free time, we return to the small town, picking wild berries, hiking up the mountain to take photos. Every wrongdoer receives their due punishment, and I finally break free from the shackles of being a stand-in, once and for all. No more distance, no more suspicion between us. From here on, every day, every year, is filled with quiet, complete happiness.